Hi everyone, this is Sarah Lipkowitz and Melissa Clem with the Homestead team of Hagen Realty. We specialize in homes and farms in Maryland, Virginia, and Pennsylvania. And today we wanted to talk about buying a home or a farm in the fall, particularly this fall, which is 2022, where the market has changed tremendously over the last couple of months. We wanted to talk a little bit about how the market has changed, what that means when you're writing offers, and what the pros and cons are going forward.
So I know some of you probably have questions about what's happening in the market, and right now we're seeing that, of course, the rates are up. They're at 7.25. The Fed is meeting tomorrow. There's a chance the rates adjust again, although we do believe that the rates have already accounted for the fact that the Fed is meeting tomorrow and going to increase the overall rate. So what does that mean though for you as a buyer? It means that you have more leverage. It means that there are less buyers competing right now. Overall home sales are a little bit down. So that means if you're a serious buyer and you're ready to make an offer, that you may have the opportunity to make an offer close to list price, which is something we haven't seen for the last year or two even. You may have the opportunity to ask for inspections. You might have the opportunity to even ask for repairs, which again, we haven't seen for the last 2 years. So it's becoming, I think, a more balanced market as opposed to purely a seller's market.
Yeah, I think it's a sign of a healthier market.
So I think it is returning to more of a balanced market where buyers have the opportunity to look at a home, take a beat, think about whether it is truly the home for them, and then send in an offer that is mindful of the appraised value, where we expect the valuation to come in at, and they have the option to do a really thorough inspection, whereas 6 months ago, a year ago, we were waiving inspections, we were waiving appraisals, and folks were making offers almost in a vacuum without any idea as to whether they would win or not. And so now I think it's given buyers some breathing room and an opportunity to, in my opinion, make a more informed decision about the property that they're considering.
Yeah, and we're seeing negotiation again, which is really exciting for
It
buyers.
is.
You know, it was for a year, 2 years, where everybody kind of threw their best offer out there, and it was, $100,000 over asking, no appraisals, no inspections. And you'd be competing against, I had one offer that was up against 34 other offers. They went $100,000 over asking and they still lost. So seeing a market where you can negotiate, where you can have inspections with the right to negotiate, and we still have more inventory now than we did at the beginning of the year. It just is starting to feel more balanced, and these rates are still, historically speaking, quite low. And there are ways to get lower rates if you are interested in pursuing other loan options. For instance, I just had a buyer that was kind of on the cusp of a jumbo loan, and the option was put 20% down and be in the 7-ish%, 30-year fixed rate conventional range, or put 15% down, and now their loan is a jumbo loan, and they were able to get a rate in the 5s. And so there are things like that it's really important to have a good agent, a good loan officer who can help you find the best option for you and help you take advantage of the market right now. There's fewer competing offers, and you have more time, like Melissa said, to really make an informed decision and put together an offer that is strategic for you.
I think it also highlights the importance of having a really good listing agent, because it's important that your home is properly prepared. So 6 months ago, a year ago, maybe you could get away with not painting. Maybe you could get away with not having your home thoroughly staged the way we would like. But now I think what we're seeing is buyers are being a little more careful. They're being a little more selective, and they're really taking their time to make their decisions. So little things that maybe wouldn't have mattered a year ago in that market where we were seeing 20 offers on a home the first weekend now are really critical. So make sure you work with an agent who understands how to help you really price your home correctly in this changing market, and also how to prepare it so that buyers walk through and really see the value immediately.
Yeah, and so that's important too, because a lot of buyers have to sell in order to purchase. So if you're in that boat, you need to make sure that the listing agent on that side of your transaction is really on top of things and is really marketing your home aggressively as we see things cooling down a bit. You can't just have a pulse to sell a home right now. We're starting to see a more normal, more balanced market, and that means that you actually have to have an agent who's putting in the effort to get it sold.
I agree. And you can have an agent now who's also a little creative. So, it's possible to ask for repairs, it's possible to ask for credits for updates, for things along those lines. And I think having an agent who can walk you through a home and help explain those possibilities is really going to be critical because inventory is still very low.
Yeah, and I know you said you had a buyer just go under contract, just to illustrate where we are compared to where we were even 6 months ago. You just had a buyer go under contract. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, and the sellers agreed to paint the main level of the house, replace the floors. They've offered to paint the shutters. They've asked my clients what color they would like. So they're getting a new septic system. So, negotiating has come back. It is possible now to walk into a home that you might feel has potential but needs some help, and to ask the seller for that help. So don't be discouraged. If you're looking at homes that need work and the rates are a little bit higher than they were a year ago, it is still possible to reach a deal now because as a buyer, you have a lot more leverage than you would have a year ago.
Yeah, and just in general, when you're talking about buying in the fall, that tends to stay true. We're going into the holidays. People who are selling now, it is because they have to sell. For instance, I have a few sellers who weren't quite ready to list a month or so ago, and so they just decided, you know what, we'll wait till the first of the year, we'll list in January because we're not that pressed and we don't want to have to list during the holidays. We don't want buyers coming in here and thinking we're desperate. So people who have their homes on the market right now, they need to sell their homes. So it's definitely an opportunity to put an offer in that is more advantageous for you as a buyer.
Yeah, and if you're looking during the holiday season, usually it signals that you're very serious as a buyer. So, keep that in mind too. Thank you for joining us today. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And we're always happy to talk more and look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.